Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Shoaib Muhammad. Today we will discuss about the religious traditions in Kashmir Valley, particularly the Kashmiri Shaivism, Vaishnavism and Tantrism. As we all know that the roots of Hinduism in Kashmir can be dated back to ancient times. During the Vedic period, Kashmir was a center of learning and spirituality. The scholars, visitors and sages from various parts of India and from various parts of the world as well used to visit Kashmir. The region witnessed the advent of Shivaism from the first half of the first millennium, which is roughly 500 to 1000 BC. Okay, so we'll discuss all these branches of Hinduism that have been originated in Kashmir. As I already said that Kashmir was a hub of Sanskrit and Indian philosophies like Shivaism, Vaishnavism, Tantrism in the ancient times. You can see the images of gods like Shiva, Vishnu, and this is the goddess, female goddess. First of all, we'll discuss how this concept originated, what are its core principles, what are the procedures, what is the process of meditation in Kashmir Shaivism. Kashmiri Shaivism is a school of Shivaism that originated in Kashmir in the first half of the first millennium. So Vasugupta, you should highlight this name. Vasugupta is considered as the founder of this religious tradition, to whom the revelation of Shiva Sutras was attributed. So Vasugupta was a sage to whom the Shiva Sutras, Sutra is actually literature. Sutras are like they are the verses which have been revealed to Vasugupta in a dream to compile the Shiva Sutras. He later compiled and wrote Shiva Sutras, So who is the author of Shiva Sutra? It is Vasugupta, and Vasugupta is also the founder of Kashmiri Shaivism. These Shiva Sutras are collection of 77 books, aphorisms जिनको बोलते हैं, that serve as a foundation texts for Kashmir Shaivism. Abhinav Gupta was another key figure in Kashmir Shaivism. वहाँ पे और एक सेज है जिसका नाम है अभिनव गुप्ता, was another key figure in Kashmir Shaivism who clarified the teachings of Vasugupta. तो यहाँ तो आपको समझ आया होगा, ये कैरेक्टर्स आपको याद रखने पड़ेंगे. तो अभिनव गुप्ता जो था another key figure था Kashmir Shaivism में, who clarified, who actually wrote the reference to the already existed text written by Vasugupta, and Vasugupta's Shiva Sutras were made easy and translated by Abhinav Gupta, and he called it Tantra Loka. Abhinav Gupta wrote Tantra Loka. ये आप याद रखिए, Shiva Sutra was written by Vasugupta and Tantra Loka was written by Abhinav Gupta. And Tantra Loka क्या है? It's a reference book to which clarifies the teachings of Vasugupta, Vasugupta's Shiva Sutras. So what is the core philosophy and the concept of Kashmir Shaivism? Kashmir Shaivism is also known as Trika Shaivism or Trika philosophy. ये important है, ये आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. Trika. So what is Trika? It means thrice. It means three: Shiva, Shakti, and Nara. The philosophy says one has to bring out the connection in between these three and emphasize their unity. This has to be in at one direction, like Shiva, Shakti, Nara. याद रहेगा Trika philosophy. So there are methods of spiritual practice. How to pursue this philosophy? One has to go through the methods of spiritual practice in Kashmiri Shaivism. First of all, there is sadhana, which is meditation. Mantra, these are the verses. And rituals, these are the practices. If a person performs all these three, these are useful to wake spiritual power known as Kundalini through individual soul known as Atma with the Supreme Brahma. That these practices, if one performs sadhana, mantras, rituals, these are important. The main motive is to awake their own spiritual power, जिसको कुंडलनी बोलते हैं, याद रखिएगा इन टर्म्स को आप, so कुंडलनी बोलते हैं. Through individual soul, मतलब one has to gain the spiritual power, कुंडलनी, through his own individual soul, with the supreme Brahman. Brahma is a creator in Hinduism, right? He is a creator, and there is only a single connection between you, your spiritual power, and the creator. You can awake your spiritual power, you can connect to the supreme Brahman with the help of sadhana, mantra and rituals if they are performed accordingly. Kashmir Shaivism also contributed to the fields of poetry, dance, culture, nature and divine consciousness. Kashmir Shaivism जो है, despite of contributing to religious philosophy, it also contributes to the other fields like poetry, dance, culture, nature and divine consciousness. So there are different temples dedicated to Lord Shiva in Kashmir, and you must remember these temple names, their locations, right? It's very important for exam point of view. The first one is Shankaracharya temple, which is located in Srinagar, also known as Takht-e-Sulaiman. Second one is Marthand Sun temple, which is located in Anantnag district. It was built by Lalita Datya Muktapida, right? It is both Shiva and Vaishnavite influence, right? There are some carvings of Vishnu as well portrayed in this temple, so it is both Shiva and Vaishnu. Third one is Parihaspura temple near Srinagar. It's also built by Lalita Datya Muktapida. It's Shiva temple with sacred water spring. Avanteveshwar temple, which is located in Avantipura, it was built by Avanti Varman. Bamzua cave temple near Pahalgam. It's a rock cut temple with Shwet carvings. Lord Shiva की जो images है इनमें carve की गई इसके walls पे. And the last one is Gupt Ganga temple, which is located in Baramulla. All these temples are dedicated to Lord Shiva, and some of them are also dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Now we'll discuss the Kashmir Vaishnavism. Kashmir Vaishnavism is also known as Ikyana Vaishnavism. They believe that Lord Vishnu is a supreme god. This philosophy is based on Tantra and Agmas. What are Agmas? Agmas are the collection of Hindu religious literature, right? And added with the Tantric verses, this philosophy is called Vaishnavism. It's also called Ikyana Vaishnavism, ये आप याद रखेगा. And they believe that Lord Vishnu is a supreme god. So there are different literary sources which tell us about the existence of Vaishnavism in Kashmir Valley. First of all, Nilmata Purana, right, which is one of the ancient sources of Kashmir history. It not only tells us about the development of Vaishnavism, but it describes the ancient society of Kashmir, their religion, politics, way of living life, people and so on. Second is Kutta Nimata Kavya, is another source जहाँ पे हमें proof मिलता है कि that Vaishnavism used to exist in the region. And the third one is Samaya Matrika. Fourth one is Daswat Charatam. And finally the Raj Tarangni, which was written by Kalhan. Vaishnavism became dominant in Kashmir during the period of Karkota kings, Karkota rulers, especially Lalita Datya Muktapida. The famous Kashmiri king of Karkota dynasty, Lalita Datya Muktapida, popularized Vaishnu Dharma Uttara Purana, right? ये एक ancient old text है, and he popularized this text which spreaded within and outside India. इस text को इतना popularize किया गया कि एक तो इंडिया में spread हुआ और इंडिया से बाहर भी ये countries में जो है spread हो गया. As a result, people got attention towards the philosophy of Vaishnavism in the region. ये आप याद रखना पड़ेगा आपको कि Karkota kings, particularly the Lalita Datya Muktapida, popularized Vaishnu Dharma, Vaishnavism, and popularized it particularly with the help of Vishnu Dharam Uttar Purana. So despite Buddhism, as we all know that Buddhism also spread in the Kashmir valley, but despite Buddhism, Karkota dynasty of Kashmir were worshippers of Shiva and Vishnu. जो कारकोटा डायनास्टी थी कश्मीर में, they were not only the followers of Buddhism, they used to follow Shiva and Vaishnu philosophy, the Shivaism and Vaishnavism. Secondly, the rulers of Utpala dynasty were also the followers of Vaishnavism and Shivaism and other gods. ये एग्जाम में आ सकता है कि particularly जो ये लोग जो थे, they also promoted Shivaism and Vaishnavism in the region. That's why these dynasties are important here. ठीक है, एक तो कारकोटा rulers and Utpala dynasty. So if we look at the monuments which are dedicated to Vaishnavism in the region, we see Vishnu temples like Marthand Sun temple, which is located in Anantnag. It was built by Lalita Datya Muktapida. It's both Shaiva and Vaishnu temple. Second one is Avanti Swami temple, located in Avantipura, Pulwama. It was built by Avanti Varman, and this temple is pure Vaishnava temple. There is no Shiva influence in this temple. It's pure Vaishnava temple, which is built upon the Kashmiri traditional classical architecture. Right? इनको आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. And third one is Shankar Gaur Shivara temple, which is located in Patan, Baramulla. And it was built by Shankar Varman, who was the son of Avanti Varman. And it contains the images of Vishnu. Though this temple is a Shiva temple, but it also contains the images of Vishnu. And if we see in the modern times, in the 19th century, the Raghunath temple of Jammu, which was built by the Dogra rulers, dedicated to Lord Vishnu. And finally, the Kheer Bhavani Durga temple at Tulmula, Gandarbal is also dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Now, we'll discuss the Tantrism in Kashmir. Look, Tantric worship in Kashmir is linked with Kashmir Shaivism. Although all these concepts जो हमने पढ़े, all these concepts are related to each other. Right? The main source is the Kashmir Shaivism, from where the Vaishnavism and Tantrism originated. Tantric worship in Kashmir is closely linked with the Kashmir Shaivism, the worship of the god Shiva. Right? The philosophers of Kashmir Shaivism, especially Abhinav Gupta and his student Jayarathra, wrote on Hindu Tantras. ये जो philosopher जो already हमने पढ़े, जो अभिनव गुप्ता था, one who wrote the Tantra Loka, right? In previous slide we read it in Shivaism section, that Abhinav Gupta, he made the teachings of Shiva Sutras easy in his book Tantra Loka, right? And his student Jayarathra wrote on Hindu Tantras. They also, both Abhinav Gupta as well as Jayarathra, they have written on Hindu Tantras. They analyze the Lord Shiva and other goddesses, their lineages and philosophies into an organized religious system. जो अभिनव गुप्ता है और जो जयारत्रा है, analyzed the life of Shiva, his integrity and divine, and also focused and analyzed the other goddesses which are closely linked to Shivaism. They search for their lineages and philosophies and put them into an organized religious system known as Tantrism. This was the lecture about the religious traditions in Kashmir Valley. We discussed the Shivaism, Vaishnavism and Tantrism in the region. The founder of the Shivaism, his teachings, the principles, the way of performing the rituals, the sadhana, and particularly the Trika philosophy, how Shiva, Shakti and Nara is closely related to each other, and how to gain the spiritual power, right? These are very important concepts in this lecture. Thank you.